Hi, I'm Carol Kent, and we're here in Grand Rapids, Michigan at the Speak Up Conference. And my guest today is Diane O'Connor. And Diane, you're a designer, a catalyst, and a coach. That sounds pretty impressive to me. And she has also founded the organization called WiLDfire, a gathering for wild women, I assume, of God.
Yes.
And I'd like to hear more about that. Tell me about the vision and passion God gave you to begin WiLDfire.
Well, Carol, it's been very exciting. Things are really happening in central Wisconsin. Can you imagine that?
It's exciting.
WILD stands for Women in Lifelong Development. And we go wide and gather women reaching across denominational lines, cultural lines, to pull women together.
I love the title of this organization, and I noticed you have a very interesting object lesson here that looks like something I might get the courage up to wear. Tell us about how this little shoe gives a bit of the vision. Tell us about how this object lesson really shows women what they can expect when they join WiLDfire.
Well, one of the things we ask women is your faith too tame? And we just thought it would be kind of fun to pull in animal prints. They seem to be in these days. And so for our table decorations at one of our last events, we collected leopard skin prints, zebra prints, shoes, and had some fun with it along the way. But WiLDfire is really a pretty serious organization that God is bringing about. It's not a typical club or organization. It's more of a movement. It's an attitude of cooperation and growth. Originally, I had been part of a community leadership program that pulled together leaders from different sectors in our community, and they were encouraging us to pursue an area of passion. And for me, that's the church. And I was very surprised that they encouraged me to see what would happen. So I sent out an invitation and invited women from different churches to join me for coffee and conversation. And we had 49 women and 2 brave men show up.
Wow, what a great turnout.
It was really, for our small little town, it was a good start, and we decided we really did need to do something about this. The right hand needs to know what the left hand is doing in the church, and we wanted to have an attitude of, well, cooperation and growth, where we would be cheering each other on and not just doing our own little thing, but we wanted to connect women with the Lord and with each other. We wanted them to grow in servant leadership, and we wanted them to start collaborating, to share their time, their talents, their resources.
So tell me, when a WiLDfire group gathers, what is the format of a meeting?
Well, we haven't really had meetings. We're not a traditional club or organization. We have had several WiLDfire events. For example, we have a spring event that we called to be wild, with a different theme each time. And the purpose of that event is to go wide and to get the word out and to draw women in. But we never stop there. We always point them toward next steps to grow. And when we originally were targeting this toward leaders, but sometimes when we use that word leader, it's very scary to women. So we talk about being women of influence, and that, God hasn't given us an option. He's called us to be salt and to be light, and that means influencing others. That's what we want to grow into. We want to grow into women who are servant leaders, who lead from the inside out, and who are willing to make an impact in our communities.
Well, Diane, I know we have some viewers who are thinking to themselves, could I start a WiLDfire gathering or movement in my area? What advice or resources can you offer them today?
Well, I think the first step is to pray. The very first step is to get on your knees and ask the Lord what He would want for your area. And then watch for some women from different churches who might connect with you. Have that coffee and conversation. And then they could go to our WiLDfire website. It's wildfireconnection.org. And we would be happy to give some help and information on getting a wildfire started. We'd love to put on a Call to Be Wild event in other communities, and just to see the fire jump from one town to another would be very exciting for us.
Well, what a tremendous calling you have on your life. And I know some of you would love to start a wildfire gathering. And I want to thank you, Diane, for giving us so much enthusiastic information on what we can do to really get involved with women we're close to, engage them in conversation. And it sounds like this is something that reaches men as well. So I love the fact that you are saying yes to what God has called you to do. And thank you for being a woman who has passion and vision to live out your purpose and calling. It's been a privilege to have you with us.
Thank you, Carol.
Thanks.